Week two. Yes, I changed my clothes. I'm just recording several videos in one day. And I thought, I could go and change my clothes and make it look like wardrobe changes, but then no, I'm just going to be me. This is just me all in one day making these videos. So, um, we're just going to, be good with that. I'm good with that. You be good with that. We're good with that, right? Yeah, I do have other clothes and I wear them a lot. So, regardless of that, we're going to jump in, open up the PowerPoint, get started here with week two. Lots of awesome information coming with week two. So this week, it's what keeps your attention in writing, right? What keeps your attention and why? We think about that. Think about what is it that grabs me, holds me, makes me pay attention, and think about why that is. What is it about that particular font or that particular style or the way those words are put together or the white space on the page? What is it about the message that you're looking at that keeps your attention? Something we got to start thinking about. So, with that, today we're going to talk about how do you make your writing visually pleasing? Because in order to get a thing read, it has to be visually pleasing. If it's not visually pleasing, it's not going to get read. Not unless you're, a scientist and you're used to reading big, long, chunky paragraphs in academic writing. Most of us are going to be out in the business world, and most of us are not going to have time for that. Most people don't have time for that. Most people are only going to actually read something that looks easy to read. And because of that, we're going to talk today. Very important that we talk about how do we make our writing visually pleasing? How do we get it read? Before they even jump into the content of what we've written, how do we ensure that it looks like something they can do? That's something we have to talk about. So we're going to talk about formatting, grammar, and following the writing process. All of that coming at us right now. If I can get the slide to change. There we go. Stephen King quote, "If you want to be a writer, you must do two things above all others. Read a lot and write a lot. There's no other way around it. Around these two things that I'm aware of, no shortcut. So if you want to be a writer, you've got to do two things. Read a lot and write a lot." And again, some of you are like, I don't like to write. I don't like to read. And I'm going to say to you, yes, but you have one of these. That's the way you communicate. You read and you write. It's the way I communicate. I read and I write. And we look up news. We read social media. We're on here all the time. We're constantly reading. We're reading email. We're reading, let's see, what are some of the things that I read? Well, I've got the news. I have X. I have the weather. I read the weather. I do reading on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Threads. I even have a Discord app. My children don't connect with me though there. It's not cool. It's all right. I read in other places. I have a Kindle app. I do some reading there. Lots of ways that we connect with people. Oh, my Google Voice app. I read a lot there. I read my students' writings. I read their messages to me. Anyway, you've got one of these devices as well. So you're reading and writing just like I am on a regular basis. I think sometimes we just have to tweak our mindset because your mind wants to tell you, oh, I don't like to read. Oh, I don't like to read. I'm not good at reading. But you sure do know what time your mom wants you home for dinner, don't you? And she sent you that text that said you better be here by 5:30. So let's just realize that you do know how. It's just you only really read what you want to read, right? We read what we want to read if it's got value to us. Ah, and there's the ticket. If it has value. And a lot of times we don't give things a chance to have value if it doesn't look easy to read. And so that leads us to the whole point and purpose of today's lecture. Did I just go backwards? I think I went backwards. I did. All right. So let's talk about MLA. I'm not going to do like this massive long MLA lecture, but I am going to give you some information that you need, and there are some handouts as well on Blackboard. So regarding MLA, there are many websites like AlPurdue where you can access all the important information needed to use correct MLA format in your essays. Type in MLA format in a Google search. The information is out there. Use it. You may also go by the Writing Center or use the MLA template on Word. Options exist. So if you go to the Writing Center, they have MLA documents and handouts just like I do. They may have a little bit more intense ones. They probably have some that take it a little bit more in depth. Definitely a great resource for you. You can have them explain it to you as well. That's what they're there for. And the MLA template on Word, you can go into Word and type in, you can go to New, from your top drop-down box, click New. And then in the search window for new templates, you can type in MLA, and it's going to pull up the MLA template for you, which is already in classic double-space format, and it has everything where it needs to be as far as your MLA document. So that's a wonderful resource. Use your tools. I will say this repeatedly throughout the semester, use your tools. Also the important information needed to use the what? Watch this. Needed to use the, you guys, I have no idea what that's supposed to say. It looks like when I was making this PowerPoint, I left some things, some words off. Use your tools. I'll say this throughout the semester. Use your tools. Oh, we just take those words off. There we go. We fixed it. We fixed it, right? It didn't even, I don't remember what it said. It must not have been important. It's gone. Moving on. There are MLA example papers under handouts, and I did tell you that when we took a look at the handouts on the Blackboard. So there are papers there that are examples for you. You can look at those, make sure that your paper looks like them. Excellent ideas to open one of those up. Make sure your paper looks like it before you turn it in. Here is one of the MLA example papers that I have for you on Blackboard. That's exactly what your paper should look like, right there. Times New Roman 12-point font. Very important. Your essay must be Times New Roman 12-point font. You can see the header there on the left-hand side, page numbers with your last name in the upper right-hand corner and up in the actual header section of the paper. And then you can see the date, and correct MLA format does put the day, then the month, then the year. But you can see that we jump straight from the date to the title. There's no extra spacing, no blank rows. We jump straight from the date to the title and straight from the title to the text. No blank rows. We go straight from one to the next. That's important in MLA. So you can flip through. This is a screenshot, so I'm not going to be able to do it now, but if you open up this MLA example paper on your computer from Blackboard, you'll be able to flip through it and see how the in-text citations look and what your paper needs to look like. So simple is best. I love this. This is another one. And there's a works cited page on the right-hand side of your screen. So the works cited page is exactly what yours needs to look like. Nope, go back to that. I was trying to move me. All right. See your works cited page. You can see that the works cited title goes in the center. It's not the works cited page. You don't write that. You just write works cited. You want to make sure that both of these words are capitalized. I see that a lot of times with students' papers, is those words won't be capitalized, and I don't understand that. So make sure those words are capitalized. Make sure there's no extra white space or blank space or anything between the title and the first entry. You can see that the entries are all classic double spaced. And that if the entry bleeds onto a second or third line, those second, third lines are indented. This is called a hanging indent. The first line is not indented. The subsequent lines of that entry are indented. So that is MLA format. That is what it looks like. If more assistance is needed for MLA, please get help. Get help. If you need help, get help. You can text me, you can go to the writing center, ask a classmate, get help if you need help. You can Google it. There's lots of resources out there for you. Please don't be a Lone Ranger and sit around getting frustrated and worried and concerned when there are means for you to find the help that you need out there. So I'm just asking you, please reach out, advocate for yourself. And also Google is your friend. You can simply, this is all I did was typed in MLA and I went to images and tons of MLA papers showed up. Tons, tons. You want to know what it looks like? There it is. So you can find that and make sure that your paper looks just like it. And you can see across the top of the screen here too. If you want to just look at the heading, you can click heading. If you want to have a template, you can click template. But yeah, you can find all the information that you need there. And also, you can use Citation Machine, EasyBib, bibme.org, /MLA, Quillbot, GrammarCheck, ProWritingAid, and lpurdue.com, YouTube also. Every single one of these sites, plus more, have information about how to do MLA correctly. So please advocate for yourself. Make sure that your paper is correct. Here's just an example of what I found when I typed in MLA format on YouTube. Video after video after video of professors breaking down MLA bit by bit by bit. Um, I don't want to do that here because there are so many tools in abundance. Some of you are already familiar with the MLA, some of you are not. So I feel like this is one of those areas that I don't want to do a full-fledged lecture about because the information's out there. And if you need it, you can find it. If you don't need it, well, let's don't waste time, right? Let's jump into other material that we need to have. Another thing is I found it on Pinterest. How crazy is that? That you can type in MLA on Pinterest and find all kinds of information. That cracked me up. I had to share. So the basics of it are this. Like I said, I don't want to do a full-on lecture because I don't want to do that. But the basics are this. You do have a 1-inch margin all the way around your paper, and your paper will be classic double-spaced. And I am going to show you later how to make sure that your paper is classic double-spaced. You can see there is no extra space, like I said, between the date and the title, nor between the title and the text. We go straight from one to the next in MLA. This is what it looks like. It's beautiful, beautiful, clean, precise. When it's correct, your professor will be immediately happy to read your content. If this page looks incorrect, you have already set your professor off in a mood, not a great mood. A mood where they go, "Are you kidding me? I gave you what it's supposed to look like." So make sure that yours looks just like this. Let's talk quick about in-text parenthetical source citations. option 1 there, you can see that there is no author's name mentioned, and it just has the author's name and the parenthetical citation with the page number. What we want to do is option 2, and I'm going to talk about this repetitively through the course. We are going to use signal phrases and parenthetical citations. MLA necessitates both. You want a signal phrase which lets the reader know that there is paraphrased or quoted material coming, and then you close that out with a parenthetical citation. It's like they're bookends. Signal phrase, quote or paraphrase, parenthetical citation. It starts it and it ends it. You have to have both. So the example here is Austen biographer Jennifer Talbert states that Jane Austen's fame waned in the years following her death. Her brother attempted to remedy this situation by spreading copies of her books to English literary figures. Parenthetical citation, page 23. So we tell who said it and why this person's credible. Well, why is Jennifer Talbert credible? She's Austen's biographer. So she has a thing or two to say about Jane Austen because she's done the research and she studied. So we let our reader know at the front, here's some paraphrased material coming. And then we close it out with parenthetical citation, which lets the reader know the paraphrase is over. Start it, end it. The works cited page, make sure it looks just like this. There we go. Lecture done. There is an MLA template in Word, and it is legit. Let's take a look. So when you're in Word and you want to start a new document, you would go up to File, click File, and then this screen opens and you can click New. And on this new screen, right here, you can type in MLA. And when you type in MLA, it's going to pop up the MLA style paper, the MLA style research paper, and the classic double-spaced formatting. So I'm going to show you here in a few minutes how to get your paper to classic double-spaced. But you also could just begin this way. Go ahead, type in MLA for new. It will pull up the MLA style paper, the MLA style research paper, and classic double space. I would click on the MLA style paper if I were you. That's a great way to begin. But if you're in another class and you just need a classic double space paper, then click the one on the far right. It has already removed the issue that Word's default setting has. We're going to take a look at that here shortly. But starting with one of these templates, that's the way to go. So if you click on MLA style paper, this little screen pops up and you just want to simply click create. And this is what you'll see. And then you go in and you fill in your information over the top of the template. So where it says last name, put your last name. Where it says your name, put your name. Where it says instructor name, put my name. Course number, put your course number. The date, put the date. Title, put the title, right? And I love this template because the wording of the text of the essay is MLA directions. Oh, what a fun idea. So that's a great one. Find that one. I believe that's under handouts on Blackboard. Great stuff. Love it. No, this is when you go in on Word and type in MLA style paper. That's right. You find the MLA style paper. The text is the directions for MLA. Love it. So good. Now, something you need to know about the template. It's not perfect. Nothing is perfect, by the way. So those of you who are perfectionist writers, stop it. There is no such thing as perfect. It doesn't exist. And if you call yourself a perfectionist, you're chasing something that is, quote, impossible. So let it go, right? Understand that everything in life can be edited, it can be altered, can be changed. And we're looking at one right here. This is Microsoft Word, right, at its best. It's got an MLA template for you, but it's not fully correct. So on the Works Cited page, you need to center the title yourself. You have to do that yourself. So go ahead and center that. Another thing that you need to know is the page numbers. on the template, if you, on the first page, if you put your last name in up at the top, your last name is not going to populate on every page. You're going to have to go in every page and type your last name in next to the page number on the template. I don't know why, but that's just the way that's set up. So make sure that you understand that. If you don't want to use the word template, if you just start typing in a regular old Word page, you have to know that the default is set anti-MLA and has wacky spacings all over the frickin' place because it is for business letter writing. The default settings of Word are for business letter writing. We're not writing business letters. We are writing college essays. We need our papers to be classic double-spaced. So you might struggle to correct the formatting on the page. Fortunately for you, I know how to do it. So there is a set of directions for how to do that on Blackboard. I showed it to you in the welcome video. This is what they look like. So how to make your essay classic double space. So you can see this paper right here, this example paper. See how that's extra wide between there, but not here? What Word does in its default settings, it adds, every time you hit enter, it adds a 0.8 height space to every line after you hit enter. That's for business letter writing. That is not for academic writing. So we want to remove that additional 0.8 space that enter, when you push enter, that it adds to your document. And you can see it here. If you just really take a look at this example, you can see it between Dacia Cunningham and Professor Cunningham. That's so deep, all the way down till we get to the first paragraph, right? Then we are in regular classic double space after that first line of the paragraph. So what do we do? How do we get rid of this? Well, if you read the handout, it's going to give you the directions, but I'm going to give them to you right now also. So there it is. That is the default setting. That is that 0.8 extra height space every time you click enter when you use the default setting. Now you can see in the regular paragraph area that we are regular classic double spaced, but between the paragraphs, no. Between the paragraphs, which is what the default setting does, between every paragraph, it will add, because you hit enter, that 0.8 extra height spacing. We got to get rid of that. So how? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to come over here where the arrow is pointing, and you're going to click select. Once that drop-down box comes, you're going to click select all. Once you click select all, your entire paper will be highlighted. Everything on your paper will be highlighted. With everything highlighted, come over here to the paragraph area and click this button. Now, if you are in Word Online, you might need to click where it says line spacing, or you might need to click this little ribbon. But if you are on desktop Word, it's this button with the up and down arrows. This is our line spacing options. So we'll click that button, and it gives us this drop-down box. You want to make sure that you are on 2.0, that is classic double space. Well, it's double space. And then right here, with your entire paper highlighted, you want to click remove space after paragraph. Click it. Boom. All of that extra spacing is gone. We are now in classic double space. And that's the way we want our papers to be. That is perfect. This is a pet peeve of mine. You want to make sure that you're doing this. If I go to your paper, I open your paper up, and it looks like this with all that extra spacing in there, I'll remove 10 points off the top of your grade. If your paper looks like this, you get to keep those points. So please correct it to double space. You could then go to design. Now, this is just the way I have figured out to do this because I like to get into Word and make it work for me. I'm going to figure out how to use this sucker, right? So if you go to design, find over here on the right where it says set as default, click that. And then it's going to give you this little box. And this says set the current style set and theme, including fonts, colors, effects, and paragraph spacings as your default. These settings will be applied to all new blank documents. Well, we want to click yes. Absolutely. So once we've clicked yes, then every time we get in Word, the settings should be correct and ready for us to get started writing in an academic fashion, not in business letter fashion. All right? Fantastic. Now, further with MLA, find an example and make sure yours looks just like it. That's what we want to do with MLA, and those are everywhere. Again, you can Google it. So many options when you Google it. Another thing that we can do is we can go to the Writing Center. I want to talk to you just briefly about the Writing Center. So this is TCC's website for the Writing Center, and you can see all the hours here when each campus is open, where the online email is. You can make, edit, or cancel an appointment here. They have lots of helps for you. You can see there's citation help, grammar, style, structure, general types of writing assignments, professional writing, glossary of terms, Writing Center staff directory, video tutorials, outside resources, quizzes, online workshops. So many options for you here. We want to make sure as a school that you have everything you need in order to be successful. And we work together to make sure that this is the case. So the Writing Center is here to back up the professors. They're here to assist you. And so please make sure that you are utilizing all of your tools. So that was my MLA style mini lecture. Like I said, I don't want to go into a long, boring, drawn out thing. You can pull those up on YouTube and watch them. But for us, we're going to stick with this, right? So that, my friends, was MLA style. It works the same for nonfiction as it does for fiction, only there will be research involved. And we are focusing on nonfiction work in this class. So now for more blowing your mind, put on your editor cap. We are going to fix the real world's grammar. In the beginning, God said, "Let there be grammar." And there was grammar. And then there was grammar issues, and they was bad. Well, right off the bat, we have to correct this, don't we? Then there were grammar issues, and they were bad. Here we go. Commas are important people. Commas aren't people. So, commas are important, comma, people. When you're talking to someone, that's called direct address, and you want to include a comma before their name. So that should read, commas are important, comma, people. How about this? How do we fix this? Or do we need to fix this? This might be fun just as is, right? How to cook, crack, and clean a crab. Whoa. One reading of this is going to land you in jail. The other one's not. So use commas. What we want to do here is how to cook, comma, crack, comma, and clean a crab. Completely changes the scenario, does it not? Yes. If your dog poops, please pick it up. Now, that's just funny to me. I don't know about you, but that's just funny to me. The guy was just doing what the sign said. Pick up your dog if it poops. What should the sign say? Well, it needs to be more clear. If your dog poops, please pick up the poop. That's what we're trying to get across, because it is a pronoun that's not clear. We have to be careful with pronouns. Pronouns can really trip up our message, like this sign. Here we go. People are eating children in this area. Please leash your dog and clean up after them. Is this a Cannibal Beach? I don't think that's the intended message here, right? So people are eating in this area. Children at play. Maybe we want to say people are eating, period. children in the area, period, or people are eating in this area, period, children at play, period. Punctuation's important, very important. So we want to make sure that before we publish something or print it, that we've checked our grammar. Here's another one. Hunters, please use caution when hunting pedestrians using walk trails. Be very careful when you're hunting pedestrians. It's not what it means. Well, I hope. Again, could be on a cannibal beach. No, what this means is please use caution when hunting, period. Pedestrians use walk trails. That's what we want to say. Pedestrians use walk trails, period. Please use caution when hunting, period. This one cracks me up. Attention. Toilet only. That's in big letters. Only for disabled, elderly, pregnant children. Thank you for shopping with us. That's a very special toilet. So, how do we fix that? Well, commas will help. Toilet only for disabled, comma, elderly, comma, pregnant, comma, children. Does that fix that? No, not yet. No, not yet. That last comma after pregnant still is going to make this sound questionable. So how do we fix this? Disabled, comma, elderly, comma, pregnant, comma, and children. Now, I would suggest we put the children first and just don't have the kids at the end of the list. So let's say it's for children, period or comma, the disabled, period or comma, elderly, period, comma, and pregnant. People, women, the pregnant, period, comma, whatever. Not comma at the end there, but pay attention to the order of your words and use punctuation. Otherwise, your message is quite strange. How about this one? This is a church in St. Louis, Missouri. Best sausage supper in St. Louis. Come and eat, Pastor Tom Ressler. Does that sound tasty? We need some punctuation here. Best sausage supper in St. Louis! Exclamation point. Come and eat! Exclamation point or period. Or we could use the word with. Come and eat with Pastor Tom Ressler. Or come and eat says Pastor Tom Ressler. Whatever it is, let's make sure we're not eating Pastor Tom Ressler with the way that we have worded our sign. Now, this is a restaurant in McAlester, my hometown. I'm so proud. My best friend sent this to me. We both had a good giggle. Their sign, when they first opened at Captain John, says this: now accepting reservations or join the wait list online. Accepting. No, we don't want you. Everyone except you. What they're trying to say is accepting, ACC. We are now accepting reservations. That has a totally different meaning. We want you. Please make a reservation. We want to make sure we're using the right words. Now, how about this place? Does this store instill confidence in you that they know what they're doing? It doesn't me. It doesn't me at all. Because you know what? Each one of these is supposed to be a plural. And we do not make plurals with apostrophes. An apostrophe makes it possessive. So each one of these should not have the apostrophe. It should just be weddings, birthdays, anniversaries, but that should be IES, and christenings. No apostrophes. Now here's one where order of words. It's very important. Boy paralyzed after tumor fights back to gain a black belt. That's a very strong tumor. How could we word this better? Let's think about this for just a moment. Boy fights back to gain a black belt after paralyzed by tumor. Order of words. Add some punctuation. You could also, boy, comma, paralyzed after tumor, comma, fights back to gain a black belt. Very important, punctuation is. And order of words. We could just change the order of the words and it'll work. So whatever you need to do to fix it, you want to fix it. You want to make sure that your message is coming across quickly. Otherwise, we got one strong little tumor with a black belt. Don't mess with that guy, right? Okay. This does also not instill confidence in me. This is from a school. Sometimes you're the dog, sometimes you're the hydrant. Is that right? Shouldn't it say, sometimes you are the dog, sometimes you are the hydrant? That your should be Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. You are. Thank you. Highland Park Junior High. Oh, look at that. Fancy PowerPoint. Yes. Woohoo. Oh, here are some of my absolute favorites that I have to share with you. Red squirrels drive slowly. Not the brown ones. The brown ones drive really fast. You know, they're trying to say there are red squirrels here, drive slowly. So we need some punctuation or a line. We could even just put a line underneath red squirrels, kind of to separate the two. Drive slowly, period. Red squirrels, period. Red squirrels, period. Drive slowly, period. Red squirrels, line, dash. Drive slowly, something. Do something to separate those two. Now, this is hilarious. When you're working in the doctor's office, as some of you will be, make sure that you're using appropriate punctuation and doing things correctly on medical charts. Visit reason. Persistent cough. Unable to eat diarrhea. Is that what that's supposed to say? Unable to eat, period. Diarrhea. Put diarrhea on the next line. All the others are separated. Put that one on the next line. Oh, I bet medical charts are fun to read. Chickens keep dogs on lead. Not us people. Us people can let our dogs run free, but the chickens, you got to keep your dogs on a leash. So we know what that's actually trying to say, I think, is that keep your dogs on a leash or on lead because there are chickens here. We need more words to fix this sign. Sometimes brevity is not best. We need to be clear. How about this one? Caution. Children, please drive carefully. Now, the adults can drive however they want, but the children must drive carefully. Let's say, please drive carefully, period. Children at play, period. Children in area, period. Something, separate them, put the children last. How about this one? Caution. Hot children 10 and under need adult supervision. Not the ugly ones. Just the hot ones. Oh, that's not what they're trying to say, I don't think. So, caution, hot, exclamation point, period. Put a big line, something, separate these. Children 10 and under need adult supervision. We want to make sure that our sign is saying what we need it to say. I'm not even going to read that one out loud. Illegally parked cars will be fined. What do we think about that? They're trying to say find. It's going to cost you money. But either they didn't know it needed a D or somebody stole the D. Either way, hilarious. No regrets? Not even a single letter? If any of you have seen Meet the Millers, you get this, right? You get it. You know it in your core. And this is a very funny scene in the movie. Very funny scene. No regrets. Not even a single letter. Oh, we're open. I think they mean we are open. I think. Or it could just be a fancy way to say closed. I It means we are opened. All right, Lady Gaga, let's do a little bit of correcting of Lady Gaga, shall we? Yes, I dare to do this. So her song was, "You and me could write a bad romance." Really? Really, Lady Gaga? That's what you want to be teaching masses of people? You and me could write a bad romance? Mm-mm. No. Correct would be, you and I could write a bad romance. And how do I know that? Lady Gaga, how do I know that? Well, there's a simple trick, and I'd like to teach it to all my students, whether you learn it or not, Lady Gaga. So here we go. You simply take you off and read it. So is it me could write a bad romance or I could write a bad romance? I win. It's I could write a bad romance. And that is how it shall stay. You and I could write a bad romance. Now, if the sentence read this way, a bad romance could be written by you and me, would that be correct or incorrect? Well, let's take the you off again. A bad romance could be written by me, or a bad romance could be written by I. Well, in that case, it would be me. A bad romance could be written by you and me, because it comes at the end. So we want to know, does I make sense or does me make sense? Take the other person off, read it, figure out which goes where. Now, here are some examples of when using quotation marks. You know, we do air quotes around things to make them sound sarcastic. Well, the same thing happens when you use quotes in writing to do emphasis on words. It does not have the connotation that you're intending. As an example, employees must wash hands. Ew. You matter to us. Do you? Do you though? Beer now available. How do you guys feel about that? Anybody want some beer? Oh, even better. Let's go shopping. We're going to go to the garage sales and find a box of new underwear. You want some? Ew, no. How about some fresh pizza to go with your beer because you matter to us? I think, oh, that's a bellyache waiting to happen. I say run because their employees wash their hands. Oh, I don't know about this. This Why were there quotation marks on the wall next to the fire extinguisher? Maybe someone did that to be sarcastic because the fire extinguisher doesn't work. Now, this is my favorite one. Imagine you're on a trip and you're on a two-lane highway and you really got a potty. And the only place to potty is this old gas station from like 1948. And you go inside. There's no bathroom inside. No, the bathroom's around back. And here's the key. So you take the key and you go outside and around the building. This is how it was when I was a kid. You go around the building and you go into the bathroom. And in the bathroom, they have lotion. You want some? Oh my gosh, you guys, when I first saw this, I cried. I laughed so hard I cried. That's gross. I don't know what's in there, and no, I don't want any. Thank you very much. All right, back to some fun grammar issues. A lot of men and women stay single because they tired of giving their everything and ending up with nothing. They tired. They are tired. We're missing some letters there, as well as the fact that a lot is two words. It's two words. It is not one word. It's a lot. A lot. Two words. A lot of men and women stay single because they are tired. Let's be correct, please. Because they tired. No, they are tired. Your font matters as well. Font can change everything about what a sentence says. Just gonna let that hang there for a second. All right. If you are not familiar with Jack's films, highly suggest that you go down some kind of a rabbit hole on YouTube and watch some Jack's films. These are hilarious. Um, this is from his series Your Grammar Sucks, and they take people's comments off of I think it's off of YouTube, Twitter, uh, various sites, and they do a collection of them and read them out loud. And they are hilarious because most people don't edit what they write. They just put it out there, whatever. Don't give it any thought whatsoever. And you do things like that, you're going to end up in a video like this. So enjoy. All right, very good. I hope you enjoyed that. That's very fun for me. So we are so many problems out there with grammar. What do we do about it? First of all, no excuses, right? I want you to keep this in mind. Back in my day, this is what I went to college with. When I was in college, this is what I had. I had literally one of these. I had a typewriter with a little bitty screen on it, and it just showed a few words before they went right onto the page. Like you put a piece of paper in and you scrolled it down, and you were physically typing on that paper as you went, and you could not go back and fix it if you didn't catch it right away on that little screen. Or you could scroll it up and you could, well, here I'm getting ahead of myself. So anyway, back in my day, there was also a group called the Monkees. And maybe you've heard of the Monkees, maybe you haven't. They sing a song, Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? So that's out there. That's a thing, right? Love the monkeys. Now, what's so cool about this is this monkey, his name is Mike Nesmith. Mike Nesmith always wore this green beanie. It was like his shtick, his thing. And when my 27-year-old daughter was 16, she had a major crush on him. And I said, honey, you realize he's in his 60s now. She's like, I don't care. So anyway, whatever, kind of ooh. But so Mike Nesmith, his mother, Mrs. Nesmith, is the inventor of a product that saved my life in college, liquid paper. And so you would type on your typewriter and the words would pop right onto the paper there because they weren't being saved anywhere. And if you messed up, you would use the liquid paper. It's like fingernail polish. You would put it on the paper, right? Wait for it to dry, which I was always really impatient with. Wait for it to dry and don't go trying to type back over it anytime too soon. If you're like me, you smear it and then you got to do it again. Huh. So anyway, back in my day, that's what I had. You don't live in that world. You have grammar checkers in abundance. So please use them. Please use your tools. We can avoid those grammar issues if we are just taking our time and doing these things well. So there is a how to Grammarly walkthrough on Blackboard under handouts. All right. Now, I want to show you, this is the Grammarly button. And when you are on Word, if you have Grammarly as an extension on your computer, it will show up this way. And we'll give you this little button. This shows that in this version of The Man Who Loved Flowers by Stephen King, that there are 82 grammatical potential issues. 82, that's a lot. And this is a published piece. This piece is in a book, and there are still, Grammarly is showing that there are 82 potential issues. So again, nothing is ever perfect, right? Nothing is ever fully perfect. It just isn't. And so we can strive to do our very best, but we also have to be good with the fact that none of us is perfect. So stop trying to be perfect, right? So anyway, moving on. When you click that little button, it's going to start showing you the issues, and then you can read through it and decide, do I want to fix this or not? It's pretty much that simple. You can accept it or dismiss it. Another way that you can use Grammarly is you go on the Grammarly website. And if you have an account, you just go into your account, and right here you can do new or upload. You can upload your paper directly into Grammarly, or you can click new. When it's in there, this is what it looks like, and it will show you 98. See, this is more. On Word with the bubble, it showed 82. We pull that same document up into the Grammarly site, and it shows 98 suggestions. And so you just work your way through it, correct it if you need to, dismiss it if you don't. And then you would save it and then re-download it off of the Grammarly site. Also, and I said this when we went over the syllabus, Microsoft Office 365, okay, is there. It exists. We would download it from MyTCC. You do have access to that. Words Editor is pretty cool. So how do we use Words Editor? Well, in Word, and again, this is not in the online version, this is in the desktop version. So you would click over here on the far right, you see it? It just says Editor. You can also get to Editor from the Review tab. So you can click on Review. It will also pop up a place where you can click on Editor. So it gives you a grade, just like Grammarly did. Grammarly gives you a grade and you work towards the grade. So here we have a grade, 92%, right? So then we have spelling, grammar, conciseness, formality, all of these different things. It's going to show you the different areas where you need to work on things. You can click each one. It'll take you through the paper. And just like in Grammarly, Editor basically does the same thing. So which is pretty cool. Now keep in mind that the Grammarly score was an 84 on this document and Word gave it a 92. Big difference. Big difference. Grammarly catches more. So that's something to pay attention to. And pay attention to all squiggle lines as you edit your work. Read your work out loud always. Your ears will always hear things that your eyes don't see. So we want to pay attention to that. Read your work out loud. I don't care how silly you feel. If you're feeling awkward and weird, who cares? Who cares what's going on around you? Read your work out loud. That's the way you're going to catch things that you need to know need changed in your work. So please do that. Yes, we're almost done. Getting there. first we have something to do. Oh, the rule of apple. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload the Rule of Apple video into this week's materials as well. So you'll be looking at it separate. I'm not going to do an additional rendition of it right here, right now. So it will be a second video lecture in this week's materials, and just watch it, the Rule of Apple video. It's very helpful. It's a free writing exercise that's going to benefit you. So let you know about that. Oh, here it is right here. How about we just play this sucker right now for you? I've got it right here. I don't have to upload it as a second thing. I forgot I put it in the PowerPoint. So I'm going to go ahead and play this, and going to duck out myself for a little bit. Just do that, and you all can take care of this. You're going to need paper and a pen. All right. Jump out of that. All right. Very good. Love that video. So we're at the end then for week 2. So here we are with homework. The first one is the Rule of Apple survey, just a brief survey. Um, your response to what I just shared with you. It's a fantastic tool, and it's one I hope that you use. Also, the discussion thread. So the discussion thread will be over the lecture today, the things that I talked about, the things that are in the PowerPoint presentation. Just answer 3 simple questions and then communicate with some classmates. And then also we have Essay 1 coming at us this week. And what are we going to do for Essay 1? Well, it is a free writing assignment. I want it to be an MLA format. So let's take a look here. Essay 1, write 2 full pages about this picture. Anything at all. Use the rule of Apple to help you. No other rules. So you're going to write 2 full pages about this picture. Anything that comes to mind. All right. It's also on your syllabus at the very back, where the assignments are listed. The first essay has this picture there, but you can also find it here on the PowerPoint. So let's go one more slide. Oh, nope, that was it. So I do want this to be an MLA format. That last picture, that's it. Okay. So I do want it to be an MLA format, but 2 pages about that picture. It can be fiction, it can be nonfiction. Just talk about what you see or make a story up. It doesn't matter. This is for you to determine. This is an assessment of sorts where I will get to see where we are as a class as we're getting started. And it will also help loosen you up, practice that rule of Apple. And you can even use the word apple in there if you get stuck. You can use the word apple. I'm not going to get mad at you for that. I'll be proud of you for that. But anyway, if you have any questions at all, you know what to do. Send me a text message and I will respond as quickly as I can. Thank you so very, very much. And I'll talk to you next week.